enjoying myself.
How are we looking?
Mingguang! Mingguang! We got everyone back safely!
Impressive work, Traveler. You were even quicker than expected.
Paimon thought you'd be super anxious having to wait for us here at Eugene Terrace, but you seem as calm as ever.
Excuse me. That's Tianchuan for you. See? And you thought it should be hopping on like a slime. Hm. If I can't trust you, then I really don't know who I can turn to. My apologies, Lady Tianchuan. I promise I'm not usually late for appointments, let alone by a whole day. Hope you understand. No apology necessary. Doctor Who, it was my mistake letting you go to the border by yourself. Don't say that. Even I didn't think the situation got this bad. How bad is this bad? I'd like to know too. How dangerous is the situation we face? And how does it compare to previous cases? Way worse. Like, way worse.
Huh? So this isn't the first time? I've never heard of this happening before.
Well, don't forget, the border isn't part of the natural landscape. It's more like an old house that's gradually falling apart. So it requires maintenance. Every once in a while. Sometimes every few centuries. Sometimes every other decade or so. And of course, that is responsibility of the Wangshan Funeral Parlor. In the past, though the worst it got was a few small feather leaks, that's an easy fix with the secret art. It burns it all away with no problems. But this time's different. Inside the border, hmm, it's like the whole world has been turned upside down. Do you have any idea what the cause might be? Not so far, no. Maybe it's the abyss? I doubt it. I haven't found any trace of abyssal activity.
You're thinking about Natlan, right? It did feel kind of similar, but not exactly the same. Is Leela's border anything like the Night Kingdom in Natlan?
Ah, yes. I've heard all about the crisis there. But, as far as I understand, the Night King was a true realm of the dead, while the border is more of a boundary world between life and death. Yes, it's a demarcation line. Life on side, death on the other. So if the border fails, souls will pour out and the whole thing's a chaotic mix of life and death, just like what happened all those millennia ago.
No wonder so many people have been aging faster than normal.
It's a symptom of death approaching the world of living.
Then what should we do now?
Burning away the fetter won't do any good, because the issue is the border itself. Lady Tanchuan, any progress on the 7-8 gates method I mentioned last time? Yes, we've deduced at the locations of the four of the gates, and we should be able to pinpoint the rest of the array before long. Whoa, already? The Tianchuan doesn't mess around. Several strokes of luck were involved. Our nation is blessed with good fortune.
Wait a second. That gates method you mentioned. Are you talking about the one from the Sanctification of Tao Du?
Hmm. And that's the one. You've seen the seat at the border. I can't think of any other way to fix it besides a complete do-over.
Do-over? You mean make a whole new border?
No, not the whole border. Just the part that's been giving us grief, which is just as well. Reconciling the whole thing would be much more difficult. What is the 7-8 gates method? The 8 gates refer to 8 keynotes in Leeway's ley lines. Life, death, repose, concealment, initiation, terrain, fright, injury. They can be used to direct the ley line's energy. Huh, I see.
And the seven?
That's the requirement for activating the array. The array master will select one gate from the eight to do evil, cutting off its exit path using ley line's power to obfuscate themselves.
What do you mean, obfuscate?
As in, disappear from the ley lines completely, never to be seen again, taking the banished evil along with them.
Like with Greater God. What's her name? Ruka Devata Successor 1. Leader Lord Kusanali.
So someone has to die for this to work? But you can't seriously be considering this.
Now, don't worry. That's traditional interpretation, but people just assume that because the lone butterfly sacrificed herself. But let's not forget, they were purifying a whole god. As bad as things are now, it's still a far cry from what they had to deal with. From what they had to deal with. Besides, the border is completely ruined, so we're only fixing one part of it. If you ask me, as long as the array master can settle a huge mass of fetter, they'll be just fine. Oh, do you have any proof to back up this statement, Doctor Who? My proof is that I know the most about life and death of everybody. Unless anyone wants to dispute that. No one? Okay, good. Looks like we're all in agreement. In that case, we can plan our next step as soon as the Tianchuan has found the remaining four gates. Director Who? Something to add, Lady Tianchuan? No. There's something else I'd like to ask about, but it might not be my place to do so. If you don't wish to answer, then please, pretend I never said anything. Okay. Sure. What is it? Do you believe that today's border crisis could have anything to do with the Wuwang Hill disaster from over a decade ago? Hmm.
Huh? There was a disaster at Wuwang Hill? What happened?
Mute Laterite Festival? Indeed. We're playing in English, so most of the voice cast is not voiced because the voice actor strike with the AI.
Some sort of natural disaster, wasn't it? There used to be a village there, but then there was a flood or something. It took a lot of lives, and all the survivors moved away. But that doesn't explain how Wuwang Hill became the dark and gloomy place it is today. Maybe there was more to it.
Yeah. No, Lady Chanchuan. I don't think these two events are related. Excellent. Well, that was my mind at ease. Everyone, let's meet here again in 2 days. We should know the locations of the gates by then. Alright, well, I've still got a lot of preparations to make, so I'll be heading back to the funeral parlor now.
Sounds good. If we're all done here, I'd better get going too.
Alright, see you around.
Wait, Lun Yen. Paimon meant to ask, how did you know where to find Hu Tao? Did you already know something was wrong with the border?
Oh, that. Yeah, I definitely owe you an explanation. Why don't you meet me at the Adventurers Guild later? I just need to write a letter to my family first. I want to let them know I'm fine. And I also have some questions I want to ask them.
Alright, then we'll see you at the Adventurers Guild.
Hmm. What say you, Ningguang? What's bothering you, Ningguang? The Wuwang Hill disaster has always haunted me. Still, if Director Hu says the incidents are related, I probably shouldn't pry any further. Well, that's not foreshadowing for some big reveal later. And with Lanyan here, I'm willing to bet that has something to do with her family.
Traveler! Paimon! Over here! Perfect timing. I literally just posted my letter. Anyway, back to your question. Let me guess. You're probably thinking I predicted the border crisis with some kind of mysterious magic.
Well, yeah. Aren't the lawns of Chen Yu Vale all expert at Chiman divination or something?
No, that's simply not true. Yes, the Chiman arts have been practiced in my clan for many generations. And yes, Wind Reader is listed as one of our ancestors in the genealogy. But my family are only distant relatives. We branched off from the main family line long ago. By my grandpa's generation, the only Chiman he knew was a few parlor tricks. Put it like this. My grandpa makes a living telling fortunes in Yilong Wharf. But I'm making more than him just selling my handmade arts and crafts.
Huh. So why exactly did you come to look for Hu Tao?
Because Grandpa's readings have gone sideways recently. The romance and career fortunes are doing okay. But when it comes to longevity, everyone's readings suddenly saying they only have a few years left to live. It gave Grandpa quite a fright. Fearing backlash from his clients, he closed shop and shut himself away at home, trying to divine an answer to the strange readings. But after days and nights of divination, the only clue he got was Wangshang Funeral Parlor. Right around that time, I happened to receive an invitation from the Ministry of Civil Affairs to organize a street fair. So I figured I might as well drop by the funeral parlor to see what Director Hu might know about all this.
Oh. Wait, so your grandpa's divinations were correct all along, weren't they? The longevity readings were affected by the border crisis, and Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was the answer, because they could fix it!
It's certainly looking that way. Apparently every soul in Liyue is now living under the creeping shadow of death. But so far, we are the only ones in the know.
Dip Dangaroo. I have another question. What's the deal with the Rattan figure?
Wait, that's the one I left at Miss Yingar's shop. It's actually a product of genuine Chiman art. It's engraved with an exorcism sigil to absorb inauspicious energy in their owner's place, so they won't come to harm.
So that's why when Butler Ann touched it, it was called a touch, because it was absorbing the fetter from the Master of the Fane Commerce Guild.
I had no idea you'd been holding on to it all this time. I guess it was meant to be. You're more than welcome to keep it if you like.
Yeah, sorry Timaeus, we stole your protecting talisman.
When I first arrived at Liyue Harbor, I passed by a large house and felt a chill go down my spine. So I made a rattan figure. I gave it to the young master there. Later on, I also sensed something similar around Timaeus, so I made another one and left it at Scent of Spring. Then I followed Director Hu to Wuwang Hill, only to find she disappeared without a trace. While I was searching the area, I found Miss Chi-Chi. She was stuck in some kind of crevice, and she seemed to be blocking something from coming through.
Oh my goodness. Chi-Chi was blocking the fetter with her body. Good lord, Chi-Chi.
When I tried to pull her out, we both got pulled into a cold, dark place, which I soon discovered was the border. We wandered around aimlessly for a while, until we ran into Director Who. She lit some incense and was burning Fetter left and right with a flaming staff. But there was just too much. There was no way she could hope to get rid of it all. Worse still, the Fetter blocked off the way we'd come in, trapping us inside. Thank goodness you came to our rescue.
Whew, what an ordeal. Still, your family sounds more impressive than you let on. Did you use some kind of illusion magic in the border?
Yes. Actually, that and the rattan figures are things I learned from one of my cousins in the main branch of my family. She's been practicing the Chiman art since she was little. She's also the one I posed some questions to in my letter back home.
Question about the 7-8 gates method?
Wow! Good guess. Yes, I want to know for sure whether sacrificing one of the participants is a necessary part of the method or not. I figured she might know.
Huh? But Hutao already told us it won't come to that. She said we just need to make sure the person can withstand a strong blast of fetter.
I certainly hope that's true, but I can't help but feel uneasy about it. I haven't known Director Who for long, but I get the sense that she prefers to keep the truth bottled up sometimes. Sure, she talks a lot, is afraid to broach dark and uncomfortable topics, but she really hasn't said much in the way of her own private thoughts. It's like she's already got a plan, and is keeping it to herself.
You mean, you think she lied to us?
Yeah, pretty much.
I wouldn't call it lying per se, but remember when the Tianquan asked about the incident at Wuwang Hill from a decade ago?
Yep. Hutao said that it doesn't have anything to do with what's happening now. Are you saying they actually are related?
Do you know anything about what happened back then, Lanyan?
I just heard that there was a flood. But given everything that's going on, I think it likely had to do with the border as well. I remember my cousin saying that around that time, the Wangsheng funeral parlor set up an altar on top of the hill. I just assumed it was for a funeral. But now, I can't help but wonder if it was some sort of ritual to try and fix the border. Anyway, the ceremony was hosted jointly by two former directors of the Wangsheng funeral parlor, namely Hu Tao's father and grandfather.
Oh, really? Hutao's never mentioned her dad to us before. How strange. So you think there's more to the story, huh?
They're both dead, huh?
I just heard that there was a flood. But given everything that's going on, I think it likely had to do with the border as well. That would at least explain the strange weather going on at Wuwang Hill. Yeah, but since she brushed it aside when the Tianquan asked her about it, I don't see how I can broach the topic. I've only known her for a few days.
I guess we should go talk to Hutao ourselves.
Huh? You think we should ask her about it? But she's never opened up to us about family stuff before. What if she shuts us out?
That's her choice. All we can do is try. Then you can keep poking her till she tells the truth.
Hey, that isn't very nice. All right, let's go find her and take it from there.
I hope my family will write back to me soon.
Should I save this money?
Take me up!
Hmm.
Oh,
Traveler, Paimon. What's up? We haven't spoken in 5 minutes and you're missing me already?
yep. So we thought we'd come hang out with you. What were you looking at just now?
Oh, something so amazing? You wouldn't believe it. But I'm not showing you. Why? Is it a secret photo of me? Seriously though, you probably shouldn't joke about that. You don't want to jinx it. Jinx it how? Well, the people in this picture keep me in my dreams lately, and none of them are around anymore, so keeping you out of the picture is probably for the best. Alright, we'll quit joking around. Here, take a look.
Huh? Wait, are they?
Oh, dead people. Cool. Yeah, my dad and my grandpa. Without this picture, I probably have forgotten what my dad looked like by now. When he passed, I was still too young to understand what was going on. Everything I know about my dad, I learned from my grandpa. So, what happened to him? There was a border incident on Wubong Hill about a dozen years ago. My dad tried using the art of Homa to burn away the fetter, but he slipped up and suffered a lethal exposure to it. He died on the spot.
That's awful. So is that what made Wulong Hill the way it is today?
Hmm. Yep, his mistake didn't just cost him his life, it took most of the village out, and left lasting changes in Wubong Hill itself. Thankfully, my grandpa managed to deal with the fallout, but that's not to say he escaped unscathed. He didn't even make 60 before he passed. So your grandpa was affected by the incident with your dad? Well, he never admitted it, of course, but given how fit and healthy he was before that, I would have expected him to have a few more years in him.
Sounds like you blame your dad for all this.
Hmm. How could I not? It'd be one thing if he was just a spoiled brat who never announced anything, but he was a genius. He was, and still is, the best spellcaster in our family for generations. Grandpa always called me gifted for mastering the Guangshang arts by the age of 8, but by the time Dad was 8, he was already hosting rituals and incinerating fetter all by himself. Fixing the border crisis should have been a piece of cake for him, and he messed up. Who else is there to blame but him?
But maybe the question is, why did he mess up?
Because he's an unworthy director. Every past director has burned away all their belongings when they pass on, leaving at most one or two items behind. My grandpa, for example, left only his hat behind. But my dad, he left a whole pile of stuff, including this meaningless picture.
But doesn't that show how much he cared?
No, all it shows is he's unable to let go, and the fact that he couldn't let go is precisely why he failed during that ritual. He was too attached to his aging father, his young daughter, and the world we were all together. That's why he hesitated in that final moment, because he was free to die. He lost focus, and death won, taking his life and many others. Oh, the flood that took the life of Chang the Ninth's childhood friend. and all the other, and the reason why that village is like covered in dense fog. Ah, okay, okay, I see. In this line of work, we know better than anyone how hard letting go can be. We see it all the time, but as funeral directors, it's the one thing we cannot allow ourselves to fall victim to. Like Grandpa always said, we should live in life and die in death. That's the whole base of the Wangshan funeral plot existence. Hmm. Unfortunately, with my dad, these teachings went in one ear and not the other. He really let everyone down.
You don't need to be so hard on him. Sure, he made a mistake, but he can't have meant for things to turn out this way.
You're missing the point, my little Paimon. It's precisely because he's my dad that I choose not to hold back. There isn't a father in the world who would disapprove of their daughter being outspoken, because a father's biggest fear is that once he's not around anymore, his daughter will never get to be that carefree, sassy little kid ever again. So I'm gonna keep trash talking about him all I want. And on the off chance he ever overhears me, I know he'll just take some comfort from knowing that I never stopped just being myself and living life my way. Anyway, that's the brief history of Wuang Hill for you. Anything else on the agenda? Thank you for being open with us. Hmm? Did you think I'd hide from you? Nah, you're better boss than that. Plus, you did just rescue me from the border, so I owe you big time. Answering your question seems like the least I can do.
Alright, in that case, Paimon has one last question. Earlier, you said that no one will have to die when the array is activated. Is that the truth?
Yes, in my highly professional opinion, yes.
Okay. That's all Paimon wanted to hear.
Try not to dwell too much on this stuff, okay? There are still 2 days to go, so check out the street and enjoy. Check out the street fair and enjoy yourself. You said it yourself, remember? I gotta keep a reasonable work-life balance. I'll see you at Eugene Terrace in 2 days. This time, we're gonna turn death to ashes. Gosh dang. They really pull out all the stops in this current Lantern Rite event. Really raising the stakes. This is definitely the most serious one out of all of them so far. I mean, we've had plenty of sad Lantern Rite event stories, but yeah, this is the first time we're like, oh, it's mixing well with not just the past but even the present. Guys, seriously, go rest and relax while you can. You have a big show coming up in 2 days' time. You got it. You can ring my bell,